Charles III, the eldest son of Queen Elizabeth II and heir to the British throne, is a highly controversial figure. Throughout his life, he has been the subject of numerous controversies that have garnered intense media scrutiny and public criticism. While some people view him as a champion of progressive causes and committed environmentalist, others see him as out of touch with common people and meddlesome in political affairs. In this video, we will explore some of the key reasons why the newest king of the UK is so controversial. Charles's first marriage to Lady Diana Spencer in 1981 was initially celebrated as a fairy tale union, with the couple's wedding televised globally and attracting an estimated 750 million views. The public adored the beautiful and charismatic Diana, who quickly became a beloved figure both in Britain and internationally. However, cracks soon appeared in the relationship, with the couple's apparent incompatibility becoming increasingly apparent. The media documented the couple's marital problems extensively, with reports of their unhappiness and separate lives becoming common knowledge. This scrutiny was intensified when it was revealed that Charles had been maintaining an extramarital affair with his former girlfriend, Camilla Parker Bowles, throughout his marriage to Diana. This revelation cast Charles in a negative light, with many people feeling that he had betrayed a beloved princess. In 1996, Charles and Diana officially divorced, causing a significant scandal and further damaging Charles's public image. This damage was compounded when Diana tragically died in a car accident in Paris in 1997. Many people blamed Charles and the royal family for her death, believing that their treatment of her contributed to the circumstances that led to the accident. In the aftermath of her death, Charles faced immense public scrutiny and was portrayed as a villain in the narrative of Diana's life. His reputation was severely tarnished, with many people feeling that he had failed to fulfill his duty as husband and had brought disgrace upon the monarchy. Moreover, Charles's marriage to Camilla Parker Bowles in 2005 further fueled the controversy surrounding his personal life. Due to her role in his affair with Diana, Camilla was widely perceived as the other woman and was unpopular with British public. Many people felt it was inappropriate for Charles to marry the woman who had played a part in the breakdown of his first marriage, and they questioned her suitability as a future queen consort. Despite attempts to rehabilitate Camilla's public image, she has never achieved the same level of affection that Diana enjoyed. The lingering resentment towards her and the relationship with Charles has continued to cast a shadow over his reign, with some people expressing concern about the impact her unpopularity could have on the monarchy's future.
Then I have to step up and run the firm. I'm in charge.
Unlike his mother, who has traditionally kept a neutral stance on political matters, Charles has been known to voice his opinions on a variety of topics. He has not shied away from expressing his opinions on various political matters, which has led to widespread debate and criticism. A significant instance of Charles's political interference came to light with the release of the Black Spider memos in 2015. The memos earned their nickname due to King Charles's distinctive handwriting and the use of black ink, which was reminiscent of a spider's legs. The existence of these memos was first revealed in 2005 by The Guardian, which sought to obtain copies under the Freedom of Information Act. The government initially denied releasing the memos, sparking a decade-long legal battle between the newspaper and the government. In 2015, the UK Supreme Court ruled in the favour of The Guardian, and the memos were subsequently released to the public. Upon their release, the contents of the letters revealed that Prince Charles had been lobbying government ministers on various policy matters, often expressing strong opinions and seeking to influence decision-making. Some of the key issues raised in the memos included agriculture, architecture, environment and climate change, armed forces, and most importantly, healthcare. King Charles has been a strong proponent of alternative medicine, particularly homeopathy. He has lobbied for the inclusion of alternative treatment in the National Health Service and has been criticized for using his position to promote unproven and potentially harmful therapies. Critics argue that such advocacy is not appropriate for a member of the royal family, as it risks undermining the credibility of scientific evidence and expert opinion. The release of the Black Spider memos ignited a debate on the role of monarchy in the UK's political system. Critics argue that the Prince Charles's roving constituted an inappropriate attempt to influence government policy, challenging the long-standing tradition of political neutrality expected of the royal family. On the other hand, some argue that as a king, Charles has a legitimate interest in the well-being of the country, and that expressing his views to government ministers was within his rights as a concerned citizen. The controversy surrounding the Black Spider memos ultimately raised important questions about the boundaries between the personal opinions of members of the royal family and their constitutional role as a politically neutral figures in the UK's parliamentary system. The Duchy of Cornwall is a private estate that has been held by the eldest son of the reigning British monarch since the 14th century. Currently, it is held by the King Charles III. The duchy generates income from its land holdings and investments, which are used to fund the public, charitable and private activities of the Duke of Cornwall and his family. However, the Duchy of Cornwall has been controversial due to its tax status and its impact on environment and local communities. One of the main criticisms is that the duchy enjoys tax exceptions that other businesses and landowners do not. As a private estate, the duchy is not subject to corporation tax or capital gain tax, and the income generated is taxed at a lower rate than the personal income tax. This has led to accusations of unfair competition and privileged treatment. There have been several testimonies that the Duchy of Cornwall had paid no corporation tax for several years, despite generating around 30 million in annual profits. It is also said that the duchy had invested in offshore funds and companies, raising questions about its transparency and commitment to tax fairness. The Duchy of Cornwall has also faced criticism for its environmental and social impact. The estate owns over 50,000 hectares of land, including farms, forests, and properties, and is one of the largest landowners in the UK. Some environmental groups have accused the Duchy of Cornwall of pursuing intensive farming practices and using pesticides and herbicides that harm wildlife and pollute waterways. Moreover, some locals have accused the duchy of buying up farmland and property, which has driven up house prices and made it difficult for young people to afford to live in the area. There have also been complaints about duchy's control over local planning decisions and the lack of affordable housing. Overall, the Duchy of Cornwall of King Charles is controversial due to its tax status and its impact on the environment and local communities. Some people argue that the duchy enjoys tax exceptions that are not available to other businesses, and that it has invested in offshore funds and companies, raising questions about its transparency and commitment to tax fairness. Others have accused the duchy of pursuing intensive farming practices and using pesticides and herbicides that harm wildlife and pollute waterways. Finally, there have been complaints about the duchy's control over local planning decisions and the lack of affordable housing, which has made it difficult for young people to live in the area. King Charles III, the heir to the British throne, has been the subject of intense media scrutiny and public criticism throughout his life. His controversial personal life, including his failed marriage to Princess Diana and his relationship with Camilla Parker-Bowles, has damaged his public image. Moreover, his political meddling, such as the release of the Black Spider memos and his roving for alternative medicine, has sparked debates about the role of the monarchy in the UK's political system. Finally, the Duchy of Cornwall, which Charles III currently holds, has been criticized for its tax status and its impact on the environment and local communities. Despite these controversies, Charles III now became the King of the UK, and it remains to be seen how he will handle the challenges and responsibilities that come with the role.